everybody, it is your good old pal, God of Ka, and this month for my thoughts, I'm gonna talk about Stephen Saunders. Last year, Stephen Saunders removed me from his community. Why? I made a video about that, and I am not gonna repeat it. But what I am here to be talking about today is what I have been thinking about him for about a year now, and how I've been honestly trying to move on from him. Sure, I would mention him in a different series, and maybe a few other videos here and there throughout the year. Besides that, I try to move on. I try to do my own thing. Sure, I might get reminded of him. Thank you, Rob. And I would go back to him, watching his videos for just a little bit, just to see what he was up to for about a week, until my curiosity lost interest in him, and just move on until suddenly, in the recesses of my memory, he is drawn back out, or someone like Rob mentions him on X. On that note, honestly, a lot has happened for me, as you have obviously seen, and honestly, I really cannot hate him for really too long. Obviously, our relationship isn't going to be fixed. That was on him, not me, not my fault. It was him who ruined it, so it's on him. And he made another hypothetical enemy who will be popping up here and there. But besides that, I tried to move on, and something interesting happened. His Neo TTRPG system failed. He announced that it failed to make any money, and if I'm gonna be honest, I know why. I know why it failed. It failed because he had no passion for it. He wasn't constantly talking about it for periods of time. He wasn't giving updates on what he was gonna be doing for it, yada yada yada. It's just sad that the only reason he ever wanted to make the game was just for money. That's it. That is all he was thinking of, and honestly, he is the kind of person who would try to make a TTRPG when, Dungeons and Dragons was not doing so well in the public atmosphere, and I won't lie, a lot of us probably felt that way when the OGL situation happened, and a lot of people succeeded from that. If I remember right, there are 2 TTRPGs that originated from all of that. It's MCDM's game and Critical Role's Daggerheart. Oh yeah, Drawsteel, that's it. That was the MCDM game, that's right. Those are games that originated from, hey, WotC, you are fucking us over. We're gonna make our own TTRPGs instead, and that just resulted in some new things. Sure, they are both still high fantasy TTRPGs, but they filled a niche in terms of what they are able to do in that high fantasy genre that also D&D is in. And I won't lie, awesome on them. We may have feelings about them, but overall, awesome on them. Steven Saunders, on the other hand, no passion behind the Neo TTRPG system. Nothing at all. Nada. Zilch. Nope. Not even a good foundation for a starting world that you can put your games in. Nada. Zilch. It's just utter disappointment. And sure, he would try to do the whole Steam sort of thing where he would make updates to a game that he is already selling, which honestly, if you're going about this in terms of the TTRPG industry, you are already going to fail right there. And sure, people have like escalated it, but so what? It was bound to fail. You admit it now, and now it's happened. I honestly am surprised about the way you were doing it. You could have taken your time making the game, eventually growing maybe some passion for it, but no. When you realized it wasn't going to work the way it is, instead of like, you know, innovating a little bit, not trying to sell it the way it is now, then maybe there might have been hope. But no, Saunders. You tried to go about this what you think Steam developers make their games initially, which, let's just put that theory on ice right now, because, oh, that is a huge misunderstanding. So I'm gonna put it into words right here, right now. When a Steam developer makes a ever so evolving video game, they at least have it completed as far as the first like hour or so can be. Right? It's ridiculous what you thought. You thought it was like just gonna be a rough manuscript, but no. At least when you're making a product, make it look good. Like heck, video games, they're videos, so obviously you are gonna be able to interact with things, have like decent art, have decent mechanics, make it all interact, have the basics for a video game, and have a somewhat basic story. Like the first like maybe Steam game, I don't exactly remember if this is a Steam game still, but the first kind of video game that I would think of was Bendy and the Ink Machine. It was a very simple game, and yet it could be expanded upon. And it also was like a good product as it was initially released. That's the kind of game that you are apparently comparing to the Neo TTRPG system. Even though okay, let's be fair. You mentioned a different video game, a shooter, which has like it was still a visual medium that you could at least play. You could still play the game. Your game, nobody even, like, tried because the book, you didn't even, like, try, dude. You sold a manuscript and you failed at that, for that matter. Oh. And yeah, it failed. And you want to know why, Saunders? You want to know why it failed? You had no passion and no ambition. You were only there to make money. At a time where Dungeons and Dragons was on kind of a downhill fall at that point. And sure, you will see in some moments in the future where I am going to actually announce my TTRPG. I'm still developing things, even after 1 year. Want to know why? I have moments of passion behind making my game, and I am not making it because of WotC's failures. The reason why I made, or am making, Project D100 Fantasy is because of what you released onto the world. You released something that had potential, but you were selling it as a very faulty game product. Didn't look good, and the mechanics, oh my god, Saunders, you broke me when I realized that health was tied to the classes individually, and they were in their own section. If the health was like individualized between the classes initially, I would have given you a better chance. But no, Saunders. You made a document that's a rough draft of a game. You made a rough draft that you were selling to people. And guess what? It failed. So great job. Your game failed because you lacked the discipline to make a proper TTRPG. And you failed at that as a fact. Oh, alright. This is it. I will hopefully have a more positive thoughts next month. See you then, folks.